Let's just simply begin with how are excited are you for what the ninth season of the Big Three basketball?
Very, very excited. You know, it was a crazy you know, NBA finals and basketball fever is everywhere. And at the end of the day, it's not over. Here we're gonna keep it going. And this is why we made the big three for basketball fans to have uh great basketball through the summer until football starts.
Well, for those that haven't seen it, because the NBA Finals and the millions of people that watched that game five and the Knicks win the ratings are up. Everyone's excited about basketball. If you're tuning in for the first time on Saturday, what can the fans expect that want to see some good basketball? And it is good basketball.
I mean, great action, fast, physical. Um, it's not a marathon. We don't play 100 games. It's a sprint. First to 50 wins. We have an 8-week season, 2 weeks of playoffs, our championship. So it's a 10-week season. So we're it's the perfect league for this time of year. And the NBA gets a lot of complaints on style of play. They get a lot of complaints about defense, load management. Um, we don't get those complaints. Guys play hard. First to 50 win. No garbage minutes because there are no minutes. You gotta be the first one. So it's like a drag race, and it's fun to watch.
Well, what I liked about it in listening to you in the past and everything else is that you're not just looking for stars, right? And you got Dwight Howard and coming in this year and everything else, but you're looking for players that are serious about it, compete. Explain exactly what you want to see out of the players in your league.
Well, Dan, it's a whole different sport. Actually, it's got its own style of play. You can compare this how you got cricket, then you have baseball, you have UFC, and then you have boxing. You have 3-on-3, and then you have NBA 5-on-5. So it's its own style. So we got to develop our own athletes who can play this style at a high level. In the big three, there's nowhere to hide. You have to be able to pass, dribble, shoot, and defend at a high level. Wherever you're weak, you're gonna get exposed. So there's no help coming. It's mano a mano basketball, and guys play defense, and we have our own rules like 4-point circles and bring the fire, where coach can challenge, one foul, a half, and make guys go 1-on-1. So we have unique wrinkles that make our game fun to watch and fun to play.
How much do the players enjoy it?
They really love it. Some of our guys have been here the whole time, 9 years in this league. Dr. J has been a coach in the Big Three for 9 years. So they love the game. They love the camaraderie. They love the profile. Just being on CBS really, ups the profile of the league and the players. They get a chance to extend their brands. They get a chance to still, play in front of the fans that's watched them since they were, middle school kids and
Yep.
high school, college, pros, and now the big three. Some of them never made it to the NBA, so this is their first time showing the world that they can play with uh, NBA type players at a high level. And
Well,
so it's great.
yeah, so I think the other part too is I've had friends or whatever that you're coming to the Boston to TD Garden on Sunday, August 9th. I've had friends that said maybe I'm going to try it, and they've loved it in person. A lot of fans say it's even better in person. How is that possible from your perspective, and what do the fans get when they come to TD Garden on August 20th?
Well, it's all about the fans. Um, I started this as a fan. I wanted more basketball, and I wanted a looser atmosphere. I wanted an atmosphere where, if you walked up to Clyde Drexler and asked for an autograph, Nobody's gonna tackle you and take you out the building.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very family friendly. We're coming with a price where we're cutting all the fees. You know, a low price that families can you can bring the kids and it doesn't break the bank. Those things are important to me. Music, atmosphere, culture, dunkers, dancers, everything in between. And the game I take very serious on the court, but we have fun with everything else.
That's cool. And what I also like about it, the Miami 305, you've got the defending champs, Michael Beasley, Mario Chalmers. Uh, Everybody comes back from a defending champ. And I think from a fan's perspective, especially here in Boston, we've seen some teams get torn down, and everything else. I love that the fact that they've got to come back and defend, right?
Yeah, as a fan, we've seen it. I'm a Laker fan, so I've seen it 1,000 times. Like you get a team that you feel like these guys can win it a few years in a row. You look up and you don't recognize half the roster. For fans, I think that's terrible. And for teams, that's terrible. I think most teams want to come back and defend with the same squad. Sometimes when they pour the champagne, that's really the last time they really get a chance to hang with each other. So here we wanted to have a league where when you win the championship, you cannot get a draft pick, you cannot change one thing, run it back.
What have you taken over the 9 years that you've loved? And what have you learned over the 9 years that you've said, you know what, let's tweak that, let's do this? What's that venture been like for you as you come into this ninth season?
I mean, we love making so many people happy with this league. Players, a lot of players find themselves lost when they're, not in the NBA anymore. And, these guys are in their 30s and they're, basically out of basketball. They feel like, I don't have a place. But with the big three, there's always a place to play. And so, that's been great. What's been difficult has been, of course, the business of it. The NBA hasn't been nice to the big three. And, we've been able to deal with it because this is something, excuse the phone, this is something that the public really wants. And, we're definitely here to provide it.
Well, I think the cool thing is it's been driven by your passion. Where did that passion come for basketball for you to where it's not only driven you, but created this and just stayed with it and just made it into a success? Where did that passion come from?
Basketball, I've been loving basketball ever since, my brothers was in the backyard playing and I was too little to play. Uh, my mother kept telling me I would grow and I'd be able to play. And I finally did. So I was able to get back there and battle. This is the time when Daryl Dawkins and Moses Malone was running the NBA. So we had very physical games in my backyard, 3-on-3. Some of my best games were in my backyard, 3-on-3. And then I just, played it, as a youngster, local YMCA, actually Inglewood YMCA played. Then, hey, I realized I wasn't going to be 6'5". So I said, I might want to try something else. But I've always loved the sport, always been a fan. And I knew 3-on-3 would work. It just needed to be professionalized.
So you said you're a Laker fan. Were you a Laker? Did you worship them? Were you a Paul Pierce fan? Who's from out there in that part? Where do your alliances? Where do they lay?
It was all Laker, man, purple and gold. Don't hold it against me.
No, no,
But
we all have our faults. Don't worry about it. It's
yeah,
all
yeah.
good.
Oh man, you got me. But it's been great. Being a Laker fan. I'm diehard. So when Paul, when he was in high school, we was loving him. Then he went and you know, beat us for a championship. We had to pay that back. now we love him again. He's back in LA.
That's awesome. Just a final thought here. It's the Boston Ball Hogs. There'll be the part of the team. Gary Payton is coaching. There's some young talent looking at the Roche that you've have with them as well. With all the things that you've done in your career, we talk about the acting, the music, the producing, and everything. Where does the big three rank? You have to put so much time into it, right? So it's got to be one of the right up there with what you've done over your career and doing now.
Uh, it's even better because with movies and music, I have to set the stage for myself to perform. But here, I'm setting the stage for these great athletes, these great Hall of Fame basketball minds to compete at a high level, for the world to see. So, I take more pride in what I'm doing with this because it's not for Ice Cube, it's not for me to perform. It's for me to put on something that the world can enjoy, at a time that I know that they're thirsty for, basketball at this level.
Yeah, it's just great entertainment. So, I want to wish you luck and all well here in this league this year. CBS, Paramount Plus, social media. We'll be all over it here on WBZ as well. The only problem you have is you have Scal doing part of the play-by-play, right? And the Boston legend that he is, right?
Yeah, that don't make him a bad guy.
He's the best. I love
Yeah, he
him.
is. We love Scout. He's been with us from day one. And we wouldn't be here without guys like him, you know, seeing the vision and knowing what the league, not what we started as, but what the league, excuse me, could be. And
Yeah.
so here we are.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, good luck this year, Ice Cube. Appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day and have fun with it. I know you will.
Anytime, man. Take it easy.